I've been reading your book that you wrote with your mom.
Yes,
which is
yeah.
incredible.
My mom and I wrote a book called The Rainbow Comes and Goes, and it comes out actually tomorrow. So yeah, very excited.
I'm very happy to get an advance copy.
It's funny because we started, basically the idea was that my dad passed away when I was 10, and as a little kid I used to think, and I think a lot of people who lose their parents early on think that there was a letter out there that my dad had written for me that might show up on my 18th birthday or my 21st birthday, kind of telling me things I didn't know. And, you know, my mom turned 91, and I didn't want there to be anything left unsaid between us. I didn't want there to be something that, when she's no longer here, I didn't know about her. So when she turned 91, we started this idea of having a new kind of conversation between us. Like, often you don't change the way you talk with an aging parent, or a parent doesn't change the way they talk with an adult child. So we decided to start like a new conversation. Because I travel a lot, we decided to do it over email. So for a year, from time she was 91 to 92 now, we started this new conversation where I would ask her questions that I didn't know about her, she would ask me questions, and we started this conversation. And I didn't think it was going to be a book, but every time I talked to somebody like you or Andy Cohen about it, they were all saying, oh, I wish I was doing that with my parent or had been able to do that, and often it's too late. So that's what the book is about. It's just about changing the conversation with your parent.
It really is. It's so well done. First of all, you are both such great writers. You are both amazing storytellers.
Well, it's funny. My mom, like halfway through doing the book, she got a little tired of like writing. We were doing it through email, and she said, maybe we'll just talk it. Like, I'll just call you and I'll talk, and you'll do all the typing. I was like, huh. So we tried that for like 2 days, and on the second day, she was like, I love talking to you, especially when it's about me. And I was like, Mom, that is the truest thing you've ever said to me, actually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She's going to be here tomorrow, right?
She is. My mom's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, she's coming on the show. Very excited.
Yes.
She's been in the audience here.
She's been in the audience. And the thing is, I never know what my mom is going to say. I didn't even see this. Gelman showed me this over the weekend.
Oh, you didn't see this?
No, this was, I guess, People Magazine did an interview with my mom and me. And the New York Post, this is a photo of my mom and me in my apartment with a giant bear.
I almost sent that to you.
Yeah, which is also very strange because for some reason this is a very old bear, and you can actually see the bear's penis somewhere around there. I'm like, why did they keep that in?
No, listen, I was standing there analyzing the photo for about 17 hours. And I was on vacation, so I had nothing better to do than to look at this photo. And I was like, his head is at the bear's crotch. He's holding a teacup. None of this is right. I needed to be there restyling this shit.
Restyle the shit.
Yes.
But my mom is funny because, like, even now at 92, she totally surprises me. Even after we've written this book, we did this interview with People Magazine, and in the middle of the interview, she was like, well, of course, I once dated a girl. I was like, what? I was like, who are you? What are you possibly talking about? And she said she had some, like, in high school, little something with some girl. The whole thing, I was like, ew, what? It was my mom talking, for goodness sake.
I love that about your mom, though, because she's constantly surprising you.
She's constantly surprising. Well, when I was a kid, we'd watch my mom, moved to Hollywood when she was 17 because she didn't want to finish high school, and started dating movie stars. And so I never really knew any of the details about this until we started this conversation. My mom started revealing this stuff to me.
I love that was an option for her, by the way.
I know, yeah, right.
I didn't want to finish high school either, but my parents were like, go finish high school.
Yeah, my mom didn't really have parents. So she started dating, like, Errol Flynn and all that stuff. But I remember when I was a kid, we'd be watching old movies together and, like, watching Robin Hood. And I'd turn to her and be like, wow, did you ever know Errol Flynn? And she'd be like, oh, yes. I was like, what? And then I remember Howard Hughes. Remember Howard Hughes toward the end of his life? Like, he lived at the top of the Desert Inn Hotel, and he was kind of crazy. I remember when he died, I was like, Mom, did you ever know Howard Hughes? And she was like, oh, Howard. She had a serious thing with, like, not crazy Howard Hughes, but, like, hot Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes.
Really nuts. And, like, Marlon Brando, she and her friend Carol decided they both wanted to meet Marlon Brando, and Carol did it first, and then set it up for my mom. My mom flew out to L.A. and met Marlon Brando. I was like, Mom, how long did you meet Marlon Brando for? How long were you dating? And she was like, well, one night. I was like, hussy. I was like,
I love that you're the prude in this
I know,
situation.
it's so weird.
It's crazy.
It's embarrassing when you find out that your mom's love life is more exciting than your own. You know?
Well, your mom's love life was exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it still is. She still has a
Well, that's the great
love
thing about
life.
my mom, who at 92 believes the next great love is right around the corner. I mean, she literally thinks
looks great.
there's a guy on a yacht somewhere off the coast of France just waiting to like whisk her away.
But
I'm
there
like,
probably
there's
is.
no boat. No, dude. I'm like,
There could be.
we need to like make a plan. My mom has never made a plan in her life. It drives me. I'm the guy who's made a plan always, and she's never made a plan. She's like, oh, the rainbow will come and go. The rainbow will come back. I'm like, how do you know you'll be there when it comes back? How do you know you'll be on the right place at the right time? You got to prepare for the darkness and like the, you know.
God,
I'm a catastrophist.
God, I love you too. I swear, you give me so much joy, both of you, and you get catastrophist.
I'm a catastrophist.
I love that.
She's an optimist. I'm a catastrophist. I believe terrible things are going to happen, and you got to prepare for them. And if good things happen, then it's a surprise, and I'm happy.
I believe that I'm very much like both of you, you and your mom.
Well, you're a planner. Are you planning?
I'm a planner. Yeah. I am a catastrophist. Yet I do believe that maybe there will be a rainbow, and it might land on my head, and the pot of gold will just drop down. Like, I have that in me. There's something in me.
A friend of my mom's, this guy Ben Brantley, who is a writer for the New York Times, said about my mom that he doesn't know anybody above the age of 16 who loves being in love as much as my mom does. Yeah. And that is totally true. My mom is like, if it's not a person, she's in love with a tree or a flower. Yeah. I just find it exhausting.
I just love her. I find her not exhausting. But your mom sent me, we exchange, once in a while we'll exchange like books or gifts or notes and things. And she sent me a book on astrology once. And I sent her a book on sextrology, which is like your physical being and how it relates to your birth sign. And she loved that book.
Of course she does. Anything ridiculous she will love.